Remember when Stewart-Haas Racing won over a fourth of their races in 2020? They were considered one of NASCAR's elite organizations. Fast forward to 2023 and it's pretty clear SHR is on the decline. They went from competing for championships to having only one of their 4 teams remain inside the top 10 in points, while the other 3 aren't even inside the top 20. What happened to Stewart-Haas Racing? Can it be fixed, or is this team destined to be in a slump for a very long time? In 2008, Tony Stewart announced he would leave Joe Gibbs Racing and become a co-owner with the organization formerly known as Haas CNC Racing. They wasted no time in their inaugural season proving that they could compete with the elite teams of NASCAR. Tony Stewart won a total of 5 races, which included that season's All-Star race, and finished 6th in points. While Ryan Newman in the SHR 39 went winless, he still went on to finish 9th in points, meaning both teams made that season's chase in their inaugural season. The first version of Stewart-Haas Racing from 2009 to 2013 accomplished quite a bit.
2002, he was the champion. 2005, he was the champion, those driving for someone else. This time, he's an owner driver, and he's become a 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. Tony Stewart wins it.
So we got it? We got it. We got the tiebreaker, baby. Awesome job.
What a drive.
What a drive, yeah. Special time.
Great there you are, Wade.
Yes, fantastic. Great job putting him in this position.
Coming to the checker flag right here, man. Thank you, guys. This is amazing. Amazing weekend.
Ryan Newman wins the Brickyard 400.
They won a combined 19 races in their first 5 seasons, with at least one of their cars making the chase every year. 2014 would mark the beginning of a new era. Kevin Harvick was poached over from Richard Childress Racing, replacing Ryan Newman in the newly numbered 4 team. Let's not forget Danica Patrick was entering her 2nd full-time season with the team, so even though the on-track performance wasn't there, at least you had an extra bit of funding. And finally, Kurt Busch joining the newly formed 41 team, which was a bit of a surprise to Tony Stewart, as this project was headed by Gene Haas. Out of all of these changes taking place, Kevin Harvick joining was obviously the biggest move, not only setting the team up for success in 2014, but for many years to come.
He's going to do it. He's going to win the race and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. California's Kevin Harvick does it.
2014 to 2020 is what I consider the team's golden era. They won a total of 46 races during this 7-season span, all while changing manufacturers and drivers along the way. Kevin Harvick was clearly the best driver during this era, and it's not even close. He won 35 of the 46 races. Of course, you can't forget his 2014 Cup Series championship, but let's also not forget his impressive streak of making the championship 4 during this span, competing for the championship in 5 of those 7 seasons. It seemed after they made the switch from Chevy to Ford before the 2017 season, Kevin Harvick and the Ford team took it to another level, winning 21 races in 3 seasons from 2018 to 2020. With over 20 wins in a 3-year span, oddly enough, it resulted in no championships. The strangest of them all taking place during the 2020 season, when they won 9 races but failed to make the championship 4.
Can Harvick do it? The final turn.
Let's go get it.
He needs the position.
Oh, Harvick spins the 18.
Turns into the 18. He turns as well. The 18 crosses the start-finish line, and Harvick is going to be out of the playoffs.
I tried to run into the door of the 18 as a latch ditch effort there and spun him out. So sorry to put him in the middle of trying to gain a point. But you know, look, these championships aren't like winning like Petty and Earnhardt used to win them. You have to put them together 3 weeks at a time. And, you know, it comes down to one race, and it came down to one race for us tonight and came up short.
Little did we know, after this finish and the 2020 season, it would mark the beginning of the worst era in Stewart-Haas Racing history. Of the 11 races Kevin Harvick didn't win from 2014 to 2020, they were won by Kurt Busch, Clint Bowyer, Aric Almirola, and Cole Custer. Eventually, Kevin Harvick was only going to be able to do so much, and beginning in 2021, we saw just that. While he went on to finish 5th in points, he failed to win a race, while the rest of the team seemed to disintegrate around him. Aric Almirola did win a race, but had the worst season of his entire Cup Series career. Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer were going through typical rookie and sophomore slumps. The assumption amongst the NASCAR fan base was Stewart-Haas Racing was clearly sucking and getting ready for the next gen that was going to debut in 2022, putting all of their eggs in that basket. At first, that theory seemed true. Chase Briscoe won his first career Cup Series race early that season, qualifying for the playoffs, but it wasn't the typical Stewart-Haas Racing we were accustomed to seeing, them competing for victories week in and out. Kevin Harvick eventually won 2 races later that season, all while Aric Almirola and Cole Custer continued to struggle. We now arrive to 2023 and not much has changed. Kevin Harvick currently sits 4th in points, all while the other 3 Stewart-Haas Racing cars sit outside the top 20. Kevin Harvick has already announced he will retire after the 2023 season, leaving many fans to feel that Stewart-Haas Racing is in for a rough rebuild. Ryan Preece is already in his first season, and with Chase Briscoe being in just his 3rd, it's safe to say they're going to be there for a while. With Kevin Harvick retiring after the season, I'm sure Aric Almirola won't be too far behind. Whether it's 2023 or all the way to 2024, we don't know. It's been a while since Stewart-Haas Racing has signed an elite driver, but it isn't like they haven't tried. In 2020, Ford said no to them signing Kyle Larson, and in 2022, they came up short for the services of Kyle Busch. Not only do we have to question the driver lineups, but to some extent, the ownership. Some fans have went as far as questioning if this team will still even be around in another 5 years, even going as far as to question both of the owners' interests of even remaining in the sport. As far as that is concerned, we'll see what develops over time. But in conclusion, what happened to Stewart-Haas Racing? They won 65 races from 2009 to 2020 and have only won 4 races ever since. The main problem to me was relying too much on a generational talent in Kevin Harvick. Also, not securing a better driver lineup over the years doesn't help. Missing out on generational talents Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch would definitely hurt any team. While some have questioned the interests of Gene Haas and Tony Stewart, there's no question that the team, without a doubt, has all of the talent and resources behind them. The future of Stewart-Haas Racing's success mostly relies on who will be in their driver lineup. Let me know in the comments what you think happened to Stewart-Haas Racing, what their driver lineup is going to look like in the future, and if you think they'll be able to return to the glory days or are destined to remain a midfield team. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.